exiles. So I haven't gotten much done around the house in the past week and haven't worked on anything much lately because we're still getting used to Sarah's new work schedule because she's working from the office and not from home, and it changes how things are working for us. Because I get off at work at night because I work night shift, so I get off real early in the morning, come home and sleep. She gets up and goes to work, and then I get up and help the kids around the house and stuff like that. And then I leave for work, and then she comes home, and we really only get to spend Friday, Saturday, and Sunday together as a family. So we're still getting used to that and adjusting to all that. And we also spent a lot of time this past weekend and stuff working on Thomas and I's Pinewood Derby cars, which was a lot of fun, helping Thomas with that. But I want to show you how we organize the to-do list and figure out what we're doing. So basically, this is our organized to-do list system. This is stuff that we haven't started on. This is stuff we've kind of started on. And this is finished stuff. And we just redid this. That's why there's not much in the finished category. But one other thing is we also have this cleaning schedule I made up. It's in a clear protective sleeve around the corner here. And we mark on the sleeve with a dry erase marker every area we've spent 15 minutes cleaning that day. And me and Sarah try to each spend 15 minutes cleaning one area today. And so when we put something on the to-do list, anything... So, let me pull these off. So we have organized dining room here. And then under that, we have anything that we have to do to organize the dining room. We might add another post-it note to it if we need to make the list longer. Like this one over here. And then for each of these categories that has its own to-do list, which these aren't all filled out yet, we slap that over it. So in order to organize the dining room, we have to organize the closet where we're going to store some of our food, to have some of our food storage, organize the dresser we moved into the dining room, and reorganize the canning area. So that's what I'm going to get started on and working on today. I'd much rather go clean out my shed and work on that, or do a more fun project. But this is getting in everybody's way, and it's aggravating everybody not being able to move around in the dining room very well, and it's making it harder to get food out of the storage areas and pantry areas so we can cook. So that's got to be fixed first. Take you on a quick tour of what the dining room looks like now and what we got to clean up and arrange. This isn't all going to get done today in today's video, but I want to get started on this. It doesn't matter if I'm going to get it done for this video. It needs to be organized and get started. So we have this cabinet here, or this bookshelf here, shelving, that's full of food that needs to be all pulled off and organized and sorted. This is the dresser. We gotta make some paste wax in order to wax the wood of the dresser. And then we're going to organize lighter stuff in here. Like keep our bowls, throwing lunch in there. It's not going to have canned goods or jars of stuff in there, but it's going to have lighter stuff. And then these deeper drawers, we're going to take like empty peanut containers or peanut butter jars, and put stuff we're storing in here, like maybe some elbow macaroni or those kind of things, and put them in here. And we're also going to take and make some cardboard dividers. So like in this drawer we can have like instant mashed potatoes, Kool-Aid mix, stuff like that. So they're not up there on that shelf where we have to pull everything out to find the packet of taco mix. Like I needed taco mix yesterday. I had to pull out a ton of stuff to find the taco mix in back. That needs to be lower and organized so we can look through it like a old school card catalog. Rice down here on the big bucket of rice down here on the floor needs put away in buckets. all this flour needs put in the food storage under the bed. Got stuff here that doesn't even belong in the kitchen. And then, let me show you the table. Pretty much none of this stuff belongs here. We gotta find a permanent place for Sarah's battery-powered hot glue gun she got for Christmas. Permanent place for my pills. And then a lot of this is like unorganized canning stuff and other stuff that we just don't have a home for yet, like this piping cake decorating thing. So we gotta organize and find a home for things and have a more organized system. That way things don't just get sat down here. Things have a home. And then we gotta get rid of these wire shelves here. They're ugly and we don't really like them. We're gonna go with some wire baskets that will sit on top of the dresser over here. And that'll cover the top of the dresser so it'll collect less junk. Because if you have a flat surface, it tends to collect clutter. Alright, and this is like our canning area. And you can see it has a lot of jars that need put away. And the reason they're not really put away is because we don't have it fully organized down here yet. It's getting there, but what we want to do is have like a row of quart jars, and then a row of pint jars, and then another row of quart, another row of pint, and we want to take all the broths, and these are all going to get stored somewhere else besides this cabinet. So this will just be pre-done, ready to eat. Like, it'll be like ham and beans, or chicken taco soup. No, that's pork. See, this is pork in the chicken taco slot. But basically, this will be stuff that we can take and is pre-cooked, ready to go. Here's some beef stew. And again, it'll be a row of quart jars and then a row of pint jars. And then as we figure out what we eat and don't eat, we will be able to adjust how much of each type of food and how much of each type of jar we need. Okay, this area is the closet and near the kitchen and near the front door. It's designed to act as like a coat closet, but we have this in here and it's full of like tins for making herbal medicine. There's some oatmeal in here that needs to be thrown in buckets that needs to be taken care of. All kinds of jars of stuff that all needs to find a better home. Because we're going to use this shelf to grow lettuce and stuff indoors next winter. So we need to get it all cleaned up. And then on the floor here, we have one bucket with a screw-on lid that's... Here, I'll show you. Let me move all this stuff. So every time we go to the grocery store, we buy what's in here. So every time Sarah goes to the grocery store, she buys a package of rice, like a 1 or 2 pound bag of rice, and throws it in here along with some diatomaceous earth. And then this gets folded up and put in there, and as soon as that's full, we pull that bag out, put it in another bucket, and seal it for long-term storage. And right now this bucket here, is full of the Mylar bags and other supplies to put stuff in buckets. All this stuff needs to find a home, so that way the old-fashioned oats that she's also been buying, we can do that in here. And then once we got enough rice and enough old-fashioned oats for a while, we'll switch to something else. Elbow macaroni, kidney beans, who knows what it's going to be. Whatever we're low on and need more of, that's what we'll start buying every week when we go to the store. Just a couple bucks at a time. To show how simple and easy it is to get started with food storage. Me and Sarah have been spending $5 to $10 every week on food storage that's going underneath the bed in these under the bed totes. Now, that food is off of a list, and I'll put a link in the description to it. It's like the $5 a week, like, prepping list. There's a whole bunch of them on the internet. But you spend $5 a week, and at the end of the year, you have a good start on your prepared food storage and stuff. We'll be discussing this more in a video this weekend and some other upcoming videos. But there's two problems with that. One, the list is pre-inflation, so it's more than $5 for some of the things now, especially the sugar. And another problem is this is just 4 bags of sugar here, and it almost completely fills us under the bed tote. So we don't have enough room under our bed to store all that stuff. So, and since we live in a pretty small house, we're gonna have to take some of this stuff and put it in buckets to store, even though that's not really in the spirit of the list. But we only have so much space to work with. But every few months, I plan on showing you, like every 3 months, I'll drag everything out and show you what we've bought and about how much it's totaled up to be. So before you put dry goods like flour, rice, anything like that on a shelf or under a bed or something like that for long-term storage, put them in the freezer for 24 to 48 hours. I try to go 48 hours first because there's bug eggs in here and they'll hatch and you'll get moths or little wormy things, and you don't want any of that. You don't want your house full of moths, and you don't want to open the flour and bugs all over it. It is free protein, but and actually most of the protein in the ingredients on flour, most of that protein that's in here is actually bug eggs anyway. So, but we won't put them in the freezer to kill them. If you're putting in a bucket, you use diatomaceous earth and oxygen absorbers to kill all the bugs. But since these may not be going in buckets, put them in the freezer, and then I'll pull those out. Today's Tuesday, so I'll pull that out Wednesday and put the next one in. Emptied out, that had all the Mylar bags and all that stuff in it. So we can put the screw top lid on it here in a second. All those Mylar bags and stuff went into this tote that's going to sit on the top shelf. I know the lid won't fit on here like this. Not ideal, but it'll work for now. And it gets all this stuff out of that bucket and makes it more accessible. We have the diatomaceous earth. I know it's backwards. In here. Whenever we go to the grocery store and we're throwing the food in this bucket, we can just take and pour a little bit of this in there and mix it up. That way it gets mixed in with the bucket and stuff. I'll put it up here, a link to a video all about how to store food in buckets. And then this big bag of diatomaceous earth that was in that bucket, we gotta find a better place for it to live. So let me show you how to put this screw top lid on real quick. So these things really grip, and they have little, like, a barb that runs all the way around, like a little hook that hooks onto the lip of the bucket here. It's hollow on here, and that hook hooks into there. So you gotta take some effort to get that thing on. That's why we got this hammer. We use this for putting bucket lids on. We call it the road hammer because I found it laying in the middle of the road. A rubber mallet works pretty well, but you just want to work your way around and don't try to slam it all the way home at once. Walk it on. Yeah, these things are a little difficult to set. And there we go. And you want to leave the ring on there while you pound it on to help keep that ring from snapping or anything. And there we go. All we gotta do is clean that out, put the Mylar bag in there, and then we'll start filling it full of oats. You get all the oats out of every various crevice that they're hiding in right now. We got oats over here. We got oats over there. I don't know where all the places we have oats. But right now we're working on storing more oats. And this will help us do that. So basically this process of food storage, the way it works is we take a 5-gallon bucket, or we have the 2 5-gallon buckets just inside that closet, and when we get home from the grocery store and we have whatever dry good we're going to store in there, we'll just dump it in there. Shake, add a little bit of diatomaceous earth. It doesn't take much. Mix it around, shake it up so the bag sets level, and then we'll fold the bag up and screw the lid on. I'm going to take care of all the oats right now and then move on to the next part of the cleaning. This isn't quite full, but after the next couple of trips to the grocery store, I think there's enough room for 2 more in here. It'll be full, so we just need to shake it down. Take the lid. I'll take the top of there, fold it up, take the screw top lid. Where did I put the lid? Take the screw top lid. And this can go back in the closet. Next I gotta do this with rice. And then I think the next thing we're gonna start storing is, after the rice one's full, is pancake batter. So I think having a bunch of pancake batter on hand would be nice. So that way, if we're ever forced to rely on our stored food, pancakes for breakfast sounds delicious. Much better than anything else I can really think of that's storable. Bacon and eggs is much better than pancakes, but I don't think we can store eggs in a 5-gallon bucket for 20 years. That you'd die if you ate that. Okay, I'm not done with everything, but I gotta go to work, so this is gonna be the end of this video. I'll probably do a small video later of all the little things we've done, how they've all panned out, and how it all works. But I just wanted to do this video to show you, like, hey, take a little bit of chunk of time every week to try to do stuff that improves your life and makes your life better, and take stuff off of that giant to-do list that you have, whether it's on your door like me and Sarah have done, or if it's just in your head, and start knocking off things off your to-do list and make your life better, make your house more pleasant, make things more efficient. This way, not only we're storing food in a more efficient manner, but having the house more cleaned up and more well organized means when we do anything, cook, clean, an art project with the kids, anything like that, it's faster, easier, and things get done more smoothly. And it makes you happier and more fulfilled. I did a short not too long ago about this, but we're created in God's image, which means in ancient times, like, the king would take off his signet ring and give it to somebody, and that person would have all the power and authority of the king. Only the king himself could overrule him. And that guy could go on a mission and, like, talk to another group or something like that in the name of the king. Well, that's what it means to be made in God's image. In the Greek translation, they use the word icon, the same thing we get for, like, computer icons. So, in the 7 days of first 6 days of creation, God took the world and made it from chaotic to more ordered. And he's constantly doing that over and over and over again. And it's our job, being made in God's image, to continue to make the world more ordered and less chaotic. That doesn't mean in an authoritarian top-down way. That just means to take control over things you have control over and actually make improvements and help other people and their lives, not just to make their lives more orderly, but to people that are impoverished and have no food, help to feed them and help to lift them up so that they can get a job and feed themselves. So that's enough going on a tangent that has nothing to do with the cleaning I'm doing, except for making the house more orderly means that we can do things more efficiently and have a better life. And soon we'll be able to invite more people over to the house because it'll be less of a mess. And show more hospitality towards people, not just friends and family, but people in the church and others too. So I hope you got something out of me doing this. I hope you go and pick a spot in your house, even if it's a tiny little spot, someplace where you spend a lot of time, like the area next to your bed, or this spot in the counter in the kitchen that's so messy that it makes you frustrated every time you cook, and start tackling these little areas. Knock out a little tiny chunk all the time. By the end of this week, I want this cubby hole done and organized. So the two cabinets, the one here that you can see, the one on the other side of the camera that you can't see, and this dresser that I showed you, have this whole area cleaned up and organized. So when Sarah wants to do some cooking, or I want to do some cooking, like today I spent 5 minutes looking for Rotel. We can just go to the tomato section and find the Rotel. Have it organized and cleaned up and ready to go like that. And that'll make our life less frustrated, and we're relatively busy. It'll make us have more free time and more time we can spend with the family, and more time we can spend with each other and friends, and more time we can spend learning from God and growing a relationship with God as well. So again, I hope this was at least a little bit helpful for you, and you weren't just totally bored by me doing some cleaning. And remember, we, his people, will start rebuilding.